Good morning, everyone. This is Rod, Ellen, Aslan, and Jinxie, and they're all preparing for Rod's Appalachian Trail through hike, which will begin on February the 1st of 2018. Just thought I'd let you see the family here in Virginia. Now I'm going to turn the camera and we're going to do the obligatory "What is Rod carrying on the trail?" And here's what we have. If you'll notice in the background, first and foremost is the Osprey 65AG Atmos that I'll be carrying without the brain. And to the right of it, you can see that I have a bag liner that will go inside for waterproofing. I have probably walked 100 or so miles with this bag, once with 30 pounds of kitty litter. I will never like kitty litter ever again. But anyhow, trying to figure out how it would feel to walk long distances with it. So I really do like the pack, and I feel like it's going to be more than adequate for me for the trail. So some of the other items in what we I guess can call the big three are in the back to the left of the pack is the REI Igneo sleeping bag recommended by REI. I believe it's a 25-degree sleeping bag, a 3-season bag, but I also included the Thermalite reactor bag liner. So I think that's supposed to bring you down at least 10 more comfortable degrees. So we'll see. I am going to be spending some Virginia nights this week, as the weather in Virginia will turn down to about 10 to 15 degrees at night. And I'm going to see how well all this works, because I do plan on being as warm as possible. Okay, you'll also see the Thermarest. I've given some thought to using the Thermalite, which is just similar to that pad you see in the front, the silver pad. But having slept on it a little bit, I decided that if I was going to be penalized for any weight, it would have to do with what I use to sleep. So I have a very nice NeoAir Thermarest sleeping pad, and it's a full-length adult pad that I'll be going. It's 25 ounces of weight. Again, probably somewhat of a weight penalty, but figuring that the next day's hike can be no better than the previous night's sleep, I felt like it was worth the property of putting it in there. So I will be carrying that on the trail. In the center there, the big bag, of course, is the tent that I'll be using. It is the Big Agnes Copper Spur UL2 with Mountain Glow. Again, recommended from REI, and I've been in it. It's got plenty of room to keep your pack at night. 2 nice vestibules. You can go on YouTube or online and see everything you need to know about this particular tent, but it has very, very good reviews, and I feel like it's easy to set up, it's easy to take down, and will be a nice tent for me as I sleep on the Appalachian Trail. It does have the footprint, so I'll have that to protect the bottom. Just looking forward to, again, a good night's sleep. I think this was a very good choice for me. In the front there, you'll see that I am taking some Black Diamond trekking poles. Put many miles on these trekking poles. They're very comfortable, very lightweight. Don't think I'm going to have any trouble whatsoever using these, and that they'll make the distance. I fashioned some rubber tubing on the tips of the poles that are really nice. It kind of adds a rubber cushion to the pole. Again, just cutting some nice rubber tubing I had in the garage just as an addition. So if you see that, it's not something funky on the end of a trekking pole, other than it's just something I invented. The aqua and tan looking band down at the bottom is actually a thing that I thought might be very nice. I've noticed that when I'm walking on the trail and I don't want to use my trekking poles, I'll have to take them off and put them on the pack. I don't want to be taking my pack on and off frequently, so that is actually a band that I can put around the top and the bottom of the trekking poles and throw it over my shoulder, much like you would put a gun over your shoulder. And then it's just easy to get to, easy to get off, easy to put on, and of course I don't think it weighs maybe 3 ounces, but easy for me not to have to take that pack off every time I want to do any videoing or I want to just walk without the trekking poles. So what you have here, in a little over 6 minutes, is the big 3 that I'll be carrying from Springer, February 1st of 2018. Now I'll go on to the other portions of the trail and what we carry. Get this in front of you now. I realize I am not, I emphasize not a videographer, but just so that people will have an idea of what I'm carrying. Thus is Rod's video of his stuff. So let's start with the clothes now. Everything on the table is going to be the clothing I'm either wearing or carrying. So I just put it all together so you can get an idea. The jacket on the back is an LL Bean rain jacket. Have used it several times. It has a very nice mesh lining in the back, and since I tend to sweat a lot, it has really provided some air, a layer of air between my clothing and the jacket. So really am excited about that piece. Ellen and I are definite LL Bean fans. So very nice rain jacket from LL Bean. Now I'm going to adjust this down to the table and then start pointing out some things that I will be carrying. In the back, perhaps very important, is the Teddy the dog hat. If you are not familiar with Teddy the dog, you need to be familiar with Teddy the dog. But Teddy will be going with me on the entire trip. Look it up on the website, Teddy the dog. You'll love it. Another hat that I have is an LL Bean, and it is waterproof. So it has a mesh liner as well, which is very, very nice, again, since I am a sweater. All right. On the back are my convertible pants, again, LL Bean. Very, very nice, easy on, off, easy convertible, very warm actually, yet breathable. So excited about those, have worn those numerous times, and they're just really, really, really nice pants. On the back over here is an LL Bean web belt. Not real happy with that because it is just so stiff. Not sure if it will eventually loosen up, but I believe if you open it up, it would stand on end. It's that kind of stiff. So I may be changing my belt. It doesn't feel bad once I have it in the LL Bean pants and on, but it is a real stiff feeling belt. Over on that side is a PISTIL, merino wool hat. Maybe I'll save that for a minute because I want to show you all the sleeping stuff. Anyhow, this is just a long, stretchy, elastic type of pants that I may wear with this once I get into cold, windy conditions, and just keep a lot of that air from getting through the pants. LL Bean dry, quick moisture, antimicrobial short sleeve shirt. I'm not sure when I'll get to the short sleeve season, but leaving in February, it may be a while, but I will be carrying that. Here I have 2 pair, of course, darn tough socks and an REI liner for those. Since I've been walking and hiking, I probably put in at least 3,500 miles in the last year and a half. Granted, not mountains, but a lot of miles. I have had no trouble wearing darn tough wool socks. No blisters, no hot spots, and that's upwards to 15, sometimes 17 miles a day. So these I'm going to carry with a liner should I need them. Now, as far as gloves go, I decided on 2 pair. This is a Cabela's glove mitt. As you can tell, it doesn't have fingers to it, so if I needed the dexterity, I just pull the mitt away. I learned a long time ago the secret to keeping your hands warm is that your fingers need to touch each other. If they're isolated in a glove, they all get cold at the same time. So I will be carrying these for the extreme cold weather. They work very well with the trekking poles. They have sort of a sticky surface that seems to grab the trekking poles very well. I'm also going to carry another pair of very lightweight gloves. I forget who made them, called Trailheads. And these gloves are very lightweight, and yet if I just needed something on my hands, this would be the glove that I use. The only other pants I'll be carrying, again, are LL Bean, and these are just shorts. Very lightweight, have a mesh liner in them, worn them for many, many hikes, and they're just excellent, lightweight, dry, easy dry shorts. Now, this shirt will be my laundry resupply type shirt. It's an Orvis, I think they call it dry release shirt, and it's with a hoodie. And on the days I'm either at a hostel or wherever I'm staying, while I'm getting everything else cleaned up, this and probably the shorts will be what I wear during the transition. So that is the shirts that I'm wearing. Now I'm going to come around to this side and begin showing you. This is a LL Bean full merino smart wool type shirt that I'll probably wear most of the time hiking. I have had it on. It does a marvelous job of wicking sweat away from me. When I have it on with the jacket, it wicks the sweat through the shirt into the breathable area of the mesh of the jacket, and I stay, well, let's say less than miserable, which I can get when I overheat. So I'm looking forward to this shirt. So soft, does not itch, and it is light. Very, very comfortable long sleeve shirt. Now let's see. The other things are, of course, I'm going to be taking a buff. I have this from Good Life. It's a sweat towel, and it really mops up sweat. So if I need something and I'm really sweating, then this is going to be a very lightweight but a nice tool. I think Chica and Sunsets recommended this from their 2017 hike, and it just does a wonderful job. Now, shoes. We'll be taking some Crocs. I'm going to let Ellen move that back so you can see. These are very nice Crocs, very lightweight, and you can see they are expandable as far as size. I have a pair of normal Crocs, but when my feet are wet, they just tend to slide around in it. So if I'm doing any crossing of water, I don't want my feet sliding, and these stay where they're put. So not very heavy, but I think they're going to be really helpful around the campsite, going to get water at night. If I have to cross a stream and don't want to get my boots wet, this is what I'm going to put on my feet so that I can get across the water safely and dry, hopefully. Now, this is the boot that I have chosen to wear. These are Vask. They have probably 100 or so miles on them, well, more than that. But I have Vask shoes, I have Merrell Moabs, and I have Altras. I'm going to start that trail with these. I have not had any issues whatsoever with these shoes. I understand the war that goes on dealing with Gore-Tex versus non-Gore-Tex, but they are very supportive for my ankles. They don't feel heavy at all. They seem extremely lightweight, and with a pair of Darn Tough socks, I hardly know my feet are there, so I'm not going to complain about that. These, if you see them, yes, they are Altra, and these are gaiters. But what I did, on all of my hiking shoes, I put some Gorilla Glue and another piece of Velcro. So all of my shoes now support the hook and loop closures of the Altra gaiters. Again, these don't weigh anything. They do a great job of keeping rocks and trash out of my shoes. Don't want to be stopping on the trail every 20 minutes to get rocks out of my shoes. Don't think I showed you this, but this is my puffy jacket. It is an LL Bean puffy 850 down jacket. Very comfortable, extremely lightweight, and of course love the idea that it packs in its own pouch. So we'll be carrying that for those cold days. Fits really well under the big jacket in the back. So I'll be able to keep not only warm, but dry. So looking forward to that. And of course, the obligatory bandana. Now, as I said, I want to focus on one other set of clothing. Separately, I'm going to have these pieces in a bag just for sleeping. This again is the pistol hat, merino wool, very comfortable, very warm. This was an inexpensive, puffy vest, very lightweight, but very warm and doesn't weigh, I don't think it weighs 5 ounces. If I'm in the sleeping bag and it's still very, very cold, I'll be able to put this on around my chest. I don't like being restricted in arm movement. Since this is a vest, this will not restrict arm movement. A pair of farm to foot socks, very much like Darn Tough, but at least these socks at night will be dry, and so we'll have a pair of socks. And then of course my LL Bean mid-weight base layer 100% merino wool clothing. This is what I will sleep in during the cold weather. A little heavier, of course, than the lightweight, but I think it's going to make a whole lot of difference on the cold, windy, perhaps cold, windy, and wet nights. So looking softest thing I've ever put on. Just a great, great product from LL Bean. And again, I may or may not take these, but this is just another pair if at night I felt like I needed something on my fingers in my sleeping bag. So in the end of my videos, I will give you a total weight. Don't feel like doing like everybody else does, breaking everything down by weight. But my desire is to stay no more than 25 pounds total weight. That means what I'm carrying and food and water. So haven't gotten it down, have gotten it down really well, but this is what I'm looking at in the beginning of the hike to carry as far as my clothing. So I think the next one is going to be, what am I going to cook with and use for water on the trail? Oh, Ellen reminded me one other thing that I did not do before I turned it off. And I have these sacks. Don't ask me why they named them that way, but these are the underwear that I will be using on the trail. I will carry 2 with me, maybe 3, but these are super comfortable, very lightweight, and I want to say anti-chafe. If I have any issues whatsoever in walking, it has always been if I sweated, then I would begin to chap, and these are super moisture wicking as I've walked even in 95-degree heat. No problems with chafing whatsoever. But I think that kind of rounds up all of my clothing. Okay, as I promised, now we're going to start looking at what I'm going to use for food prep and for water. And again, Teddy the dog wants to show you exactly what I'm using. Water helper. Okay, so start out with the water. We'll be using 2 smart water bottles with the nice flip top. Also carrying 1 more large. This will be attached to the front of my backpack for water, a little bit larger. I tend to get really thirsty, so water is going to be right premium for me. This was recommended by Early Riser and I believe Spielberg, and I got it on Amazon, but it's a very nice sturdy water container that fits the Sawyer squeeze. You'll notice I have 2 Sawyer squeezes here that I will be carrying. One that I'll use should it freeze. I'll at least have a spare on me. But I plan on sleeping with these things so that they don't freeze. I understand they're worthless after that. Came with a nice Amazon coupler that fits perfectly with this Everflow bag. I believe it's called Everflow. Look it up on Amazon. But a very sturdy, long-lasting, heavy-duty bag that will hold plenty of water for the day travel or for evening and preparing meals. Of course, the things that you normally use with a Sawyer squeeze, flushing unit, and just basically plan on using the Sawyer squeeze. Should I not have the time or feel that I do have Aquamira drops. We'll be carrying them with me. I have ordered Aquamira tablets. They have not come in yet, but again, another form of water treatment to keep you away from Cristosporidium or Giardia or anything contaminating wise. The only thing I have against these is that it doesn't filter out large particles. So having a filter that you can back flush and get those large particles out of your water will be very, very important. So yes, using the Sawyer squeeze for this hike. This is one of my luxury items. I will admit that the greatest part of waking up every morning for me is having a good cup of coffee. I have looked at everything, I have tasted everything that is an instant coffee, and I don't care what you do to it, it's still instant coffee. So what I found was this I got, I think, at REI. It is a coffee filter that you just sit on top of a cup, and you would normally use just regular ground roast coffee and then filter hot water through it into a cup. Well, then you'd have to deal with what do you do with the coffee that you've used during the day. Idea came to me that they make these filter bags that are used, of course, for making larger quantities of coffee than people would drink during a day. But if you'll take scissors and cut around the edge of that, just getting rid of the paper, it fits right in this bowl. This, of course, expands to make a bowl. Pour a cup of boiling water through this filter, and guess what? You have drip ground coffee in the morning. Now, you say, well, what are you going to do with this? This bag has lasted me 4 or 5 days worth of drip ground coffee. I take the wet bag, squeeze it out just a little, put it in a plastic sandwich bag, I don't know if you can see that or not, and then carry it with me. And each day I want coffee, whether in the morning or in the evening, I simply pull out the bag. I don't have to leave any waste anywhere because I'm always carrying it with me. And I can get 4 or 5 days worth of coffee from one bag. They weigh absolutely nothing. So just a thought, you may want to try that sometime. But a great way to have what I consider, I drink coffee black. I don't want to taste instant coffee if I don't have to. So that's my coffee for the trip. Now, as far as what I have to cook with, this is just a stand, as you can tell, for my 4 or 8 ounce fuel container. And when you get on a surface that's not level, you're going to wish you had something to provide you some foot. And this is actually a 3-pointed foot that just kind of steadies up what you have in your pot while you're getting it hot. Again, no weight penalty here. I think they weigh 2 ounces. So a nice little feature, give you some stability on your cookware. Made these myself, of course, out of some special material. to insulate all of my pots. These are Snow Peak. You've seen the system. Not going to go through telling you, other than they're excellent cookware, extremely light, easy to use, easy to handle, and everything seems to fit perfectly in my cook set, so that when I'm through, all I do is just put it in this black bag, and I've got all my cookware that I'll need for the trip. Easy to make these. You can find this material on Amazon, and it does a terrific job of insulating the cold metal that you're going to have on the trail. I even made one back here for Mountain House food. Yes, you boil the water, you put it in the bag, and if it's cold, this bag is going to get cold really fast. So this bag fits in here as insulation. It actually even has a top that I made for it that will keep this warm while your food is actually cooking from Mountain House. Again, there is no weight. I don't think all of these put together weigh an ounce. So there's no weight to it, but does give you insulation for the trip. We'll be using, of course, the big lighter or the piezo MSR lighter. It's nice because it does not have an open flame, but works well on the MSR Pocket Rocket 2 to start the flame. Really nice little thing, doesn't weigh anything. It'll be in the bag with all my cookware. And this is what I plan on preparing, whatever food I need for the trail. I think that pretty well covers everything that I'll need for cooking. Okay, I know you're bored to tears, but hang in there. We got 2 more categories. This one's the miscellaneous stuff, and then I'll let you see my electronics of what I'm going to carry, because I do plan on being the worst vlogger on the Appalachian Trail. So here we go. This is just some Dr. Bronner's soap and stuff. I'll probably just carry one of those with me. Use it probably, I think they said you can use it as toothpaste and everything else, but anyhow, I'll be carrying that. Forgot to add this with my food and everything. This, of course, is the Z-Packs Bear Bag Kit. Have a nice heavy spring, actually, a rubber-coated spring. That'll be wonderful weight for that. But anyhow, this is my bear bag system for suspending my food at night. My wonderful surgical nurse has prepared me a wonderful medical kit here. This was, of course, borrowed at REI, but she added some stuff that she knew that I might need. So that's my medical kit for the trip. I am legally blind. No, not really, but I need glasses. So these are some glasses that I'll be wearing. One pair, of course, wearing, and have a spare pair should something happen to them. Didn't include this with my pack, but of course this is the Osprey pack cover for the Atmos 65. This is a rain kilt from Z-Packs. I think that's going to really be helpful to put on when it's raining hard. I have my rain jacket on, and then I'll have long pants. The worst part in the world would be rain running down this jacket onto your pants, and this kilt will actually keep that off. Won't keep my feet dry, but certainly will keep most of my pants dry. I need Body Glide. Don't want any chafing or rashes down there while I'm walking. I've been using it for years, and I will be carrying some of that. The customary TP, a very important feature of the Appalachian Trail. This, of course, is just some waterproof matches in case I want to start a fire at a shelter where it's legal to do so. Just thought I'd carry some waterproof matches. Actually have 2 headlights, of course, a Black Diamond headlight system and a Petzl E-light. Doesn't have, I think it weighs an ounce, but as a backup to this, should I lose some light here, I will at least have the Petzl light as a backup. This is the Gossamer Gear bag that I will keep my Apple iPhone 7 Plus in during the day. It is pretty much waterproof. I don't think I'd have any issues with it, but fits the iPhone 7 with a protective case. It fits in very, very well, so I'll be carrying that. And again, it goes on your front of your shoulder strap on the Osprey pack. This is Road ID. Not from know if you're familiar with Road ID, but Ellen and I have been using that for many, many years while we were doing half marathons, whatever. But it keeps all of your medical information on a bracelet, and you can use that should somebody need to find out who your doctor is, who your insurance is. Any medical information is recorded online and keeps all your information with you all the time. So Ellen and I both have the Road ID identification. These are pre-molded to my earplugs. At night, it is important, if I'm in a group or whatever, that I'm not picking up sounds that wake me up at night. So these are earplugs that I will use. This is an Orvis, as you can tell, bright colored wallet that I will keep all my money and personal things in as I make the trail. Very nice wallet. As far as this is just a small little bag full of important things. These are some splints for the tent pole should I break one, some extra buckles in case I break a buckle on the pack or whatever. Again, together they probably weigh an ounce. We'll be using the AT guide, the AWOL guide. Have been studying this for well over a year now. Actually, this of course is the 2017 guide. I have ordered the 2018s, but since I have so many very good notes in this guide, I probably will take the 2017 with me. Just a terrific guide for everything. Anybody hiking the AT needs this guide. We'll say now that it is not my only guide. I have on my iPhone, of course, Guthook's app, another wonderful life-saving application on your cell phone. Get Guthooks to do the AT. You will not regret it. This, of course, is just some extra paracord, extra piece of Velcro. Again, doesn't weigh a fifth of an ounce. Who knows, you might need Velcro. We'll be carrying a Benchmade knife and this cute little knife. I forget who made it. Let me see here. Doesn't weigh anything. Oh, it's a Leatherman. It's called a Squirt. And will be on the front of my pack. Has scissors, has just about everything you'd probably need for the AT. Probably won't carry this, but this is just another way to start a fire. Would not go on this trip without my New Testament. We'll be carrying that and be sharing that along the way. This is just some extra toiletry thing. My toothbrush, some floss, a towel, a little bit of tape. Ellen prepared that for me for the trail. Of course, this will go in my bear bag at night because it does have things that might be tasty to some other things. This I'm not sure you're going to carry, but these are crampons, just a simple type of crampons that go under the midfoot of a boot. If I get into some ice and snow, it might be nice to have a little bit of ability to keep my feet. This is the bear bell. May or may not be carrying that, but it is the bear bell that you can get at REI. Of course, everybody will be carrying some kind of form of wet wipes. These just happen to be Cedar Summit wet wipes. This little thing, of course, is I made it out of a soda bottle, but when you get to a stream and you can't put your bottle or whatever under it to grasp it, you can scoop up the water in this. Again, weighs absolutely nothing. I have a compass, debating whether to carry it. I may carry it, may not. This is a coat hanger. I weighed it in at less than an ounce. At night, if I have something in my tent that I'd really like to dry out, this unfolds into a nice, very nice little coat hanger. A signaling mirror, probably will carry that. And again, no weight penalty here. Everybody carries hand sanitizer, so will I. This attaches to the pack. I don't want to look like I smell, so I will be shaving. And so this is a shaving kit with a few things like a toenail clipper, etc., that I will be carrying with me. Also, with my AT guide and my Guthooks, I plan on carrying the Garmin InReach Explorer. If I need to text home and I can't get cell phone signal this well. It works on the Iridium satellite. Hoping to never have to use it in an emergency, but at 66 years of age, I'm going to carry something for safety. I'm very blessed to be able to buy one of these, and hopefully I won't have to use it very often, other than if I need to text Ellen and I can't get it by a cell phone. I'll certainly use that. And of course, last but not least, is the trowel or the spade for those special moments along the trail. Again, no weight penalty here. Probably, I know it weighs less than an ounce, but a very nice trowel for that. This includes a lot of the miscellaneous. Again, I say some of this I may not take. Again, trying to keep my pack weight with food at 20 pounds, 25 pounds, maybe 27. That's my goal. I will attain it. But these are some of the miscellaneous items that I may carry on the trail. Okay, last but not least, Teddy the dog, I'd like to show you the electronics that I'll be carrying. I will be using what I'm recording with right now. Of course, is the iPhone 7 Plus. Seems to do a very nice job of recording. I'm still learning how to use iMovie to edit the videos, but we'll be using the iPhone 7 Plus, and of course have the charger for that. I have an entire Anchor system. Now this is a almost 21,000 milliamp charger, a little bit heavy, but don't want to be without power along the trip. So this is a nice Anchor. Got it at a very nice price on Amazon. Nice and recommended highly. Of course, Anchor has great products. This I'll be using when I'm at either a hostel or wherever I can recharge my devices. It's a double port rechargeable plug-in unit. This, of course, just earphones for the iPhone. This is a stick pick. Debated carrying a GoPro setup on the end of my trekking pole. If I decide to use my setup that I'm using now to record this with my iPhone, I'll adapt the stick pick to it. I have all the pieces that go with it. This is just a clip-on adapter if I want to use the clip-on to record my videos. And I also have one, of course, that is head-mounted. Not sure how I'll use it, if I'll use it, or if I'll take it, but just another way of recording video along the trail. Plan on doing most of it with what we found on the internet called Fantaseal, and this is just a handheld contraption for holding the iPhone as you walk. Really a nice, comfortable cushion type, very lightweight, and easy to move and manipulate the iPhone 7 Plus as you're recording. So this will be going for my musical entertainment. A simple SanDisk unit, very lightweight. I have, several hundred songs in it just to break the monotony. Needing something maybe in the tent at night to listen to some music. And of course it's rechargeable. And I showed you in the other video that I will be using the Garmin inReach Explorer as part of my electronics package as I make the trip across the trail. Of course, it'll keep up with waypoints. It'll do way more probably than I'll use it for. But in an emergency, it tells where you are within 3 feet. So nice piece of equipment that Ellen got me for the trail. And thus, Teddy says that's the end of Rod's, what he's carrying on the Appalachian Trail. Will be YouTube. I already have a site. It's called So Blessed AT 2018, and this is where I'll be videoing my trip along the AT in 2018. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you find it helpful. Hope it hadn't bored you to tears, but it's been fun putting it all together. Look forward to using it in just about 46 days.